Alright, hi everybody, it's Bonkai922. Before I get into this video, this review for another... I don't understand this episode of Gargantia. Why is it that we're showing yet again fan service of these three girls, Amy and her two friends? Like, hey Japan, man, you can't do that shit. These girls, like 15, 16 years old. I'm like, damn, come on. But before I get into this review, I'm going to do a live stream tomorrow night of Attack on Titan stuff. There was kind of this live stream that Anime Savage showed me with Insane Game Freak, and I believe it was Rising Sun, known as Manga Reader Z, talking about Attack on Titan. And I was like, oh, they're bashing it. And the way he was talking to me was like saying, oh, they're bashing it, Bonkai. I'm like... So I took a look at the live stream, and I'm just briefly going to talk about this. And they were, alright, they were talking, yeah, they were a little bit, but Insane Game Freak, I'm like, got nothing against him. Like, he wasn't saying anything bad. I mean, he's not into the series, so you can't really, you know. But Manga Reader Z, yeah, he did kind of, but I'm not going to harp him on it, because why? Was Anime Savage expect me to go nuts and start to have a flame war? No, it's just, I'm not, come on. Enough said. Off. I'm not, nah. But yeah. And like tomorrow night, like I was saying, I was going to talk about theories of Attack on Titan, Shingeki no Kyojin, and I'll bring in some people. Yeah, so let's get into this episode review, which, more fan service. Oh, God, this show. It's good, but why are we showing another episode with fan service? Like last week, we had already the three girls. They're like 15, man. And you got Amy. She's 15, and she's dancing with a belly dancer outfit. I'm like, no. But at the beginning of this episode, we had Redo. He was like conflicted. He was conflicted about money, the expenditure of money, and how he uses money and all the other stuff. Because apparently, from in space, there is no such thing. Now, but I will say the ending of this episode was good. The ending was good, but it still only gets a 3.5 because of the fan service. I was like, damn, again. But yeah, he's thinking about that. And, you know, Amy's there, and she's going to show him around about a festival and stuff. And says to him about fishing. So he's going to try, he decides to try it out. He wants to try to fish. Because they have this, it's kind of weird the way they fish. Because apparently they have this thing called a galaxy way. Where something happens with the water. And it allows them to patrol further in on the ocean with the water in the ocean. And apparently because of this galaxy thing, they're able to trap the fish. So it's easier to go fishing. At least that's what is entailing of this. It entails. And basically what happens is he doesn't go with Chamber. He goes into a different robot that it's very mechanical. You don't use your voice to control it. It's got like flippers as feet. So you swim like in the ocean, and you're going to use that machine to go and catch the fish. And the entire time he's doing voice commands to it, and it's not doing anything. So he couldn't do it. And then the guy says, oh, you should have told me before you couldn't swim. So that's pretty much what happened in that situation. And then he's with Amy, and they're walking around, and then they go to this restaurant, and he eats this thing called seaweed bread, which I have no idea what that is. I guess that's just seaweed that they make into a bread. Go figure. And then after that, he decides to allow Chamber to go fishing, for him to fish. which turns out not to be well because he meets the fish He kind of chops it up. So that's what happens there. And then he bumps into Pinion, and Pinion takes him out to eat. And while they're eating, take a wild guess who's dancing, doing a exotic dance on stage. Amy and her two friends, and I'm like, really? Two episodes back to back with fan service, but this one was a little bit like ridiculous. I mean, like, come on, they're 15. What are you doing? It's so ridiculous. I was like, no, that is too hardcore, too much. Come on, IG Productions, why are you doing that? I just felt it weird. Anyway, what ends up happening though is he's eating there with Pinion. And Bellows shows up, and they start having like a bidding war between the two of them of getting of having who's going to get Redo to join their salvage group, because he wants to do that. He wants to go and salvage for things, treasures and everything. And the waitress, brings out the dish, and he thinks it's the enemy. Because apparently, the enemy that he fought in space looks like a squid. An octopus. Go figure that out. And he was about to shoot it, and then they're telling him to calm down. It's octopi. It's a little octopus. And in the meantime, while he's eating, he got Amy dancing. I'm like, Jesus Christ. Jesus Christ, man. She's 15. Come on. She's 15. I was like, okay, come on. That was a little bit too much. And then he eventually, I believe, he decided. After that, he gets a message from Chambers saying he needs assistance. So he gets in the chambers and helps everyone catch the fish, and does a good job at it. Because what happened was Chambers was turning. You can't don't let your robot alone AI system go and fish, because he doesn't know what the fuck he's doing. And they get the net, and they help out the other people in their robots to capture the fish, and he does a good job at it. So it was a good job. And after that, Redo, he's asking Amy, they're on the ship, for her to dance for him. I'm like, yo, what the fuck? I was like, no, too much fan service. Not a bad thing, but it's just we're way too ridiculous. I mean, she's 15. Come on, she's 15. So what ends up happening is, she dances for him, and he's really, he likes it. And after that, there's a thunder, and he's surprised by it, and he's putting his gun. And that happened like 3 times. 3 times during the episode, but actually the third time, it wasn't a false alarm. And after that little rendezvous with Amy, he then goes and does a salvaging with Bellows. And they encounter this ship that they pull apart and get the cargo that's in there. And all of a sudden, while they're attempting to do that, he gets a warning. Like a warning signal from Chambers. And apparently an enemy is there. And you look up, and you actually see the enemy. It's the alien creature that he's been fighting in space. That looks like a squid. And that's where the episode ends. Pretty good, the ending. But the fan service kind of was like, okay, what's going on here? The fan service was a little too strong. A little too strong. So, yeah, that was kind of a problem. But, yeah. And that's pretty much what happened. So, this was a good episode. I liked what happened. It's just, a few things. Just that fan service there was a little bit too strong for my taste. I mean, they're 15. Come on. But this was good because now we're going to get some action. The ending was good, but I still give it a 3.5 because of the fan service. We'll see what happens next week. And this one, like I said, was called Festival. Episode 6. Should be interesting. I'm guessing. I always thought that in this show we were going to have that, where the alien race that he was fighting, Redo, was going to eventually show up and attempt to attack him. They're going to have those things where he's going to fight them while he's on the planet and all that other jazz. So, yeah, it was a pretty good episode. 3.5. I mean, hey, I like fan service too, but not with... I mean, it looked like the whole thing in Maggie with Morgiana, where she's doing the dance. I'm like... I mean, that's okay, but she's 15. Yeah, that's not okay. That's way out of proportion. Even Morgiana's out of proportion. She's 60, not that much older. So, overall, it was an okay episode, pretty good. We'll see what happens next week. And that's what I got for you guys. So, yeah, this is Bonkai 922. I'll see you guys later. Remember, tomorrow night, live stream, Back on Titan. Theories, provocations, anything along those sorts. Anyway, also, before anything, if you want to join, you gotta be caught up. Gotta be caught up to the manga, because we're gonna talk about a lot of that shit. I already got, I think, one person who sent me their Skype that would want to join. So anyone who wants to join this live stream tomorrow night, comment below, put in your Skype, put in your Google+, do whatever you have to do so you can join this conversation. Gotta be caught up to the manga, though, and we can talk Attack on Titan. That's tomorrow night. Also, during this week, there will be an unboxing. Yes, an unboxing of an anime. Can't tell you what. You have to wait and see. And that's all I got for you guys. So this is Bonkai 922. See you guys later. Little too much fan service here. It's alright, though.